gods and archetypes and psychic complexes.
I mean, what's the question? Say it again real slow.
Don't want to die. Nobody wants to die.
Hey, how's it going? It is Thursday, August 12th, 2021, and it is time for another episode of the Comedy's Dead podcast with me, your host, Josh Goldstein. I should probably say this off the top. I am no longer, the podcast is no longer being produced by Too Much Content. Unfortunately, they did really great work. They did all the fucking setup and the graphics and all that. It's kind of unfortunate that I'm not going to be working with them too much moving forward, but money's tight because apparently when you decide you're going to buy fucking 20 concert tickets or whatever it is and jet around the country, you need money, and it's tough to pay weekly for someone to produce the podcast, unfortunately. So, we're going to keep marching on. Now I just have to learn how to do more shit, which is a pain in the ass. But, it's when you have a job where you only have to, work 2 days a week, at a certain point you can kind of fucking be like, I have the time to learn how to add a caption to a Photoshop. I think I can figure that shit out. So that's where we're at, is I just got to fucking do everything myself now, which, is what it is. But, they had very valuable expertise helping me out, help me start out. So maybe a couple months down the line, we can kind of circle back to all that. But for now, it's just going to be me talking a bunch of shit by myself, which is, essentially what it was supposed to be in the first place. So here we are. Another fucking heat wave, a little less rain this time. That's how you know someone's boring, was when they start the hour-long conversation by themselves with, hey, so the weather, guys, but, it's fucking brutal right now. I had, it's fucking, the Sox are in the tight division race, and I say tight as if we didn't just fucking drop 6 games down the standings, but, it's, right, it's the biggest series of the year right now, Sox, Rays, and, I've had fucking season tickets my whole life. My dad's had them since 85. He sat through some bad fucking seasons, and I just didn't, I've sat through some bad fucking seasons. I just didn't have it in me to sit out there in fucking stands last night, and it was a good game. I think we won, right? Red Sox, Rays, the result last night, It's the bottom of the fourth right now, by the way. I was supposed to go today, too, but it's too goddamn hot. I can't sit in... Yeah, we won 20-8 last night, so maybe I should have gone to that one. I was also supposed to go to see fucking Santana, who, with Earth, Wind, and Fire opening. I didn't do that either. I didn't even go to a fucking open mic last night. I did absolutely jack fucking shit, and I feel like a piece of shit about it, right? Because I was raised Catholic, and then... You can't not do anything or not do anything without guilt. There's a lot of guilt going on, It's, yeah, so, now I feel like a lazy piece of shit for not taking the night off to go to a baseball game. Isn't that crazy how that works? But, we're doing our thing. I can hear my fucking brother, he just talks at a screaming level, and I can hear him all the way through the fucking floor as I do this. And I know the second he fucking walks upstairs, he's going to walk into the room while I'm doing the podcast to say some horrendously unfunny shit, and I'm going to have to deal with that situation and, talk to you people about it, even though there's 10 of you listening. So, that's how right now is going. Fucking, did you see that fucking video of Isaiah Thomas breaking down after putting up 81 points? He played a rec league game up in, fucking Seattle, and he put up 81 the other night, and it's actually fucking brutal. There's him on video, just breaking down, crying, because fucking all of us gave up on him, and I hate the people who are blaming the Celtics for that situation as if it's not the people, they fucked him over, and it's just they traded him to the number 1 team in the East to play with LeBron James. And they made the Eastern Conference Finals that season. They traded him because he was hurt, but it's like they didn't fucking force him to play through the hip injury. He wanted to play because his fucking sister died. And the only thing he knew to do, like, the only thing that could, like, shut out all that, those thoughts that day was just getting on the court and fucking playing and not worrying about it. I don't know how that's fucking Danny Ainge's fault. Like, that makes him an asshole. But, yeah, apparently there's rumors that they're gonna fucking try to sign him, which would be, I don't know where he fits on the roster, but at a certain point, it'd be nice to see him back. Oh, we did sign Dennis Schroeder, which is gonna fucking, Schroeder, German. That's not. I don't know if that's a good accent. I can't do voices. I tried the last 2 weeks. It's still not going. It's not going well. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a huge fucking. I mean, anytime you can get like a 16-point per game scorer who can shoot like, I think his best season he was like 39% from three. So, I think the Celtics are gonna be a lot better than people are giving them credit for last year. I mean, they lost it. Last year they had the most missed games in the NBA due to COVID. And, like, they lost a lot of close games. I mean, the issue we had last year with them was, like, people, they had, like, the 27th ranked defense, and they didn't have guys who could create outside of Tatum and Brown. I mean, you pretty much fixed all of your problems this year. You have significantly more playmakers to open up the Jays right now. You're going to improve the Jays' passing ability by just giving them decently fucking competent scorers instead of passing the ball to Shemi Ojale and Grant Williams all game. They took one game from the Nets without Jaylen Brown. Now they're going to have Brown back, another year of development with him and Tatum. The young guys look really fucking good in Summer League. I mean, Neesmith put up 33 the other day on like 7 and 9 shooting from 3. Pritchard put up 20. Like, you got guys who can score now. You got passers. Every single player on this team is a decent defender. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to be like the 1 seed, but yeah, you get, you get hot at the right time. I think they could do some damage in the play. I think people do not realize just how much talent is available on the Celtics team right now. So I'm excited for the season. I think Brad Stevens has dominated his first off season as the GM. Before the Schroeder signing, that was one thing, but like I think they can, I think they're gonna. I think they might be able to make some noise this year. I don't think they're going to be able to, maybe if the Nets run into an injury, I take our depth versus their depth. I mean, if you're not facing Harden, Kyrie, and KD, anything can happen, like it's the NBA, like it just takes one injury. All those guys are injured. KD's never wanted to stay healthy. Harden's been injured a lot the last couple of years. Kyrie's always fucking hurt, We'll see. I really have a lot of faith in this team. I like the thought of, forcing. The problem with the Celtics the last couple of years is, like, there's no defined fucking roles. Like, Smart's supposed to be, like, your elite defender, 6-man type, but then everybody gets hurt. You have nobody who can score. Who else is going to take that fucking shot? Do you really want, like, Shemi Ojale taking that shot over Marcus Smart, Marcus is like a 37% three-point shooter. That's there are games where he just goes 9 for 12 from 3 and he just completely fucking dominates. And then there's games where he completely shoots you out of competition. So, it's hit or miss, but like he's not going to have to be the number 1 scorer anymore. He's not going to have to be the number 2 or the number 3. Really what last year showed was just how fucking important Gordon Hayward was to the Celtics, and like the fact that he gave you when he was on the court, it didn't show up in his scoring necessarily, or even his assist rate, but like the ball moved around so much better. Like people were really like, the people who were happy Hayward left last year are just fucking idiots because they don't realize just how much his playmaking opened up things for Brown and Tatum. When he was healthy in the bubble, we were the best team in the NBA. Like it's not disputable. Like we played better than everybody else in the bubble until Hayward's injury against the Sixers. Now that you have guys like Josh Richardson, Dennis Schroeder, like you have, Chris Dunn, who he might not even stay on the team, but like you have guys who can be secondary ball handlers on this roster. You have the Romeo Langfords and the Aaron Neesmiths who, like, they're not elite passers, but they're guys who can move the ball around and open up opportunities for everybody else. And I like the way all these guys are playing in Summer League. So, like, I'm excited. I'm an eternal optimist with this type of stuff. Even if we lose, there's always a silver lining for me. Like, I'm just that type of sports fan. But, like, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm ready for I'm just ready for the season. Fucking JT won at the Olympics, gold medal. Jason Tatum is 23 years old, and he was, like, very clearly the second best player on an Olympic gold medal team that had Damian Lillard and Devin Booker and all these other guys. It was Tatum and KD's team. I mean, even KD said himself, like, this guy is going to be the guy who breaks my Olympic scoring record. That's an okay endorsement. I mean, Kevin Durant, the best player on the fucking planet, being like, yeah, no, he's gonna be, put up more numbers than me in that 1 year. Yeah. So I mean, and all these fucking morons were, saying that Tatum and Brown don't like each other. That was an actual report this summer. Was that Tatum and Brown? Someone thought that they might trade Jaylen Brown because him and Jason Tatum don't hang out enough. And then the day after they win gold, fucking Tatum's letting Jaylen Brown wear his gold medal around and bite it and shit. People just hate the city of fucking Boston. I'm convinced that, like, the entire sports media landscape is built around galvanizing the rest of the world to direct all of the anger, all of the misplaced anger from their childhoods directly towards the city of Boston because we win so much. That's it. It's just whatever your dad did to when you were a child, you're just going to blame on Bill Belichick and Spygate and buying fucking World Series with, $200 million payrolls. You just hate your father. You don't actually hate the city of Boston, because you've probably never been here, That's the thing. And so all these people make all these fucking grand statements about this place as if they know what the fuck they're talking about, I'm still mad about that Spygate shit. It's like we didn't even fucking do anything. Like, they sent a league-wide. Nobody cares. This was 2000. It was what year is it anymore? Yeah, this was 14 fucking years ago. But I still get fired up when people talk about it. It's like they sent a league-wide memo, and the Patriots caught the Jets doing the exact same fucking shit the year before. But that doesn't get reported in the news. No, it's just that when the fucking, the Patriots do it because ESPN's not going to get clicks off of a shitty fucking Jets team cheating. It's not even really fucking cheating. It's still legal to do. You just can't have the cameraman on the sidelines. If you put him in the booth, it's totally fucking legal. It was literally just the fact that he didn't have the right credentials on to be standing at the place he did. Like, I guarantee every team still fucking tapes each other's signals. So, it's a bunch of fucking bullshit. But dude, the Patsy, Mac Jones, I mean, what can you say about some fucking Twitter videos during training camp? But he looks fucking great. So does Cam. I mean, we're going to have a really fucking good Patriots team this year. We're going to have a good Celtics team. The Red Sox, Sale comes back. I don't have any faith in this team. I mean, I think this is just what they are. I think coming out of the All-Star break, they're showing us, I guess post trade deadline when Chaim did absolutely fucking nothing. This is the team we've had all year. Is just they're scrappy underdogs overperforming, but I think now we're hitting the point in the season where they're showing who they are. Unfortunately, because I always like a good World Series run, but selfishly, it would be kind of nice if the year we don't go on a good World Series run, is the year that I fucking I'm away following fucking Dead and Company on the road. Because if we did make a deep World Series run, I think, during the World Series I'd be in like L.A. and Denver and Phoenix and San Diego and all that. And I don't think I think I missed one playoff run. I was at school when Ortiz had his last game, which still fucking kills me. That I missed David Ortiz's retirement game. That's like the one moment in Red Sox history, the last few years, that's happened at Fenway that that still kills me that I missed. Actually, there's a couple other, because I missed Game 6 of the 2013 World Series when we clinched. And then the 2013 ALCS, when Ortiz hit that fucking grand slam when we were down 6-2 with, what was it, Joe Kim Surreal on the mound? I think that's right. It was the sideways hat guy. I was supposed to go to that game, and then my piece of shit fucking brother, I'm pretty sure you can hear this through the wall, I got grounded because that motherfucker wouldn't split the money that our mom gave us to buy dinner for the fucking game. He wouldn't split it evenly because she gave us $20 to eat at the fucking game. He wanted to take more than the $10 for himself. I got mad. I called my mom. Guess what happens? I get fucking grounded, and I miss David Ortiz's fucking grand slam. And you know what? I'm never gonna forgive my mom for that. There's gonna be one moment where she's gonna like need me when she's old and on her grave, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? You should have let me go to that fucking baseball game. Look, if you want somebody to pay for these cancer treatments, you're gonna have to apologize. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. I'm getting nervous at this point because the Dead and Company's tour is so it starts in 4 days. Okay, by the way, I have to like tape this podcast as quick as fucking possible because I have to turn off the fucking AC to record this, and that doesn't really help because it's fucking 95 degrees out. So the longer this podcast goes on, the more progressively hotter it's getting in this room, and the more I'm sweating. By the end of the episode, it's gonna be like a full Joe Rogan sauna experience. I'm gonna be like drenched, hallucinating. So I'm trying to trim it up. We're already at 16:30. I'm gonna try to hit 35. I've been hitting like 45 each episode, but I can't. I'm gonna sweat this one out. This is it's like when the fucking AC got turned off at the Garden. This is my Larry Bird moment over the Lakers. I'm just coming in clutch in this 100-degree heat. Nobody else wants it this bad. You look at all these other people. They're doing podcasts with central air or a fan on. Nope, not me. All right, I had to turn off that audio just because I care about you people. That you guys can get pristine audio quality so you can hear me ramble about sports you probably don't care about for 20 minutes before I can even get into the jokes. Because you know what? This is about me. This is, I don't give a fuck about you people. No, this is about myself. No, I'm getting nervous. This fucking people are worried about this Delta variant shit. I was getting worried. So you know what I did? I pulled a smart move. I stopped reading the news, so I just can pretend it's not real. That's what I did. I didn't. What else am I supposed to do? I got fucking 20 concerts piled up for the next couple months. I mean, I'm vaccinated to be fair, but I'm not. But that doesn't mean you can't get it. Yeah, and then you could be spreading it around. It's a whole fucking thing. I'm just worried about like being in the middle of fucking, Dallas, running out of money because I have to fucking put myself up for a week and a half. Because I got COVID or some shit like that. That's like a huge worry. I don't. If you don't know, I'm following Dead and Company on tour. Starting. I'm doing 9 shows the first leg, but it's only a couple weekends, so I'm not like following them too much. I'm doing so next weekend, so Friday, I'm doing New York, so Citi Field, New York, and then Citizens Bank Park in Philly, and then I'm doing Bethel, New York, which is where Woodstock was. That's gonna be really fun. I've been there before. It was a farm owned by this guy named Maxie Asger. So like one field of the farm, like one is the actual Woodstock field, and you can like walk on it and walk down to where the stage was. And if you go across the road by there's like a plaque. You get like a full view because across the road is where the musicians were encamped back at the original festival, so you can take the view from the musicians' little plaza. Yeah, it's really fucking cool. And then the like one of the next fields over is a full amphitheater, and that's where they'll be playing. So I'm really excited for that. And so I'm enough of a loser that I basically been listening through every single Grateful Dead show chronologically, from like literally chronologically. So I started during the pandemic. So I'm through 66, 68, 67, or that's not how the order of those numbers go, but you get it. So I'm in 69 now, and there's too many tapes in 1969, so I'm basically just listening to every show around the day it was recorded. So the next show I have is Woodstock. So which is going to be, I think I'm just going to try to listen to the entire festival this week. Like I'm literally going to take nights off from doing open mics just so I can listen to the entire Woodstock. I'm not going to do it like at the actual start times, because if I did that, it would be like I'd have to end at 4 a.m. on, I guess, Sunday night or into Monday, and then pull an all-nighter on Saturday, then pull another all-nighter on Sunday, which I'm not going to fucking do. So I got to figure out what time I'm going to listen to everything, but I think I'm just going to try to listen to the entire festival. I got like a folder, so like people who compiled the entire thing, because there's always a bunch of hippie nerds on the internet. So like I have literally like every single audio moment of Woodstock besides what was commercially released in a box set last year, which it's like they only released like 500 copies, so there's no way I can get that box set. Yeah, it'll be cool. Real dorky shit, but that's who I am. I've been excited. I don't know if I mentioned it. I mean, I definitely have talked about it in the last couple weeks, but I'm doing fucking like, so I had to amend my plans originally because I was supposed to do, New York City, Bethel, and then Darien Lake, which is Buffalo, then Saratoga, then Hershey. I might still try to hit Saratoga and Hershey, but there's no way I can hit Darien. And I'm getting paid. I thought I was getting paid like the week before, not a week behind. So I thought I was going to be able to use the money that I got working the weekend before Chicago to fly out to Chicago. But now that I'm not getting fucking paid, I think I need to work Hershey weekend, which is a bummer because I got a lot of friends coming from like all around the fucking country and some comics from Boston who were supposed to go to that show, and now I might not be able to make it, which is real fucking, it sucks. But and then I'm doing Mansfield and then Hartford, and then a couple weeks later I'm gonna fly out to Indy, get a ride from Indy to Chicago, stay with a friend in Chicago, and then do the the Noblesville and the Chicago shows. So I'm it's gonna be a fun whatever. Oh, and then I'm flying to Charlotte, taking a bus to Atlanta, flying from Atlanta to Dallas, meeting up with my buddy from Oklahoma, and then doing Dallas, Houston, flying from Houston to Denver, staying with my buddy in Denver, and then somehow I have to get to L.A. from there, and then San Diego and Phoenix or somewhere in between there. So, exciting stuff. I got some comedy shows booked out. I got but it's nerve-wracking with all this fucking COVID shit. Who knows? I mean, shit, I could just, I can end up getting it's almost like, when you're at a point where you're like, if things got canceled, it wouldn't be the worst thing to, like, not be deathly afraid of dying on the road. Because that's where I'm fucking at right now. It's just like, I have no idea how I'm going to survive for a month on the road, plus 3, I only work weekends, so I'm taking 3 weekends off to follow them for the first half. That means I can't save up anything for the second half. I have no fucking idea. I mean, I already have my flights planned, so that's good, and I have the tickets, but, like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for food. I was hoping to sell stickers for my buddy on the lot, which would make me a decent amount of money. But, it's, I'm just going to be fucking winging it, so, maybe I do die. Who knows? Would that be the worst thing? With climate change and all. Right, you don't want to get old in this society. Yeah. But no. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to rush through this. It's fucking hot in this room. It keeps getting hotter. I'm recording this late as it fucking is. I was supposed to already be on the road to fucking Worcester right now I'm gonna do a couple open mics now. I was gonna do the Park Grill one, and then I was gonna try to go to Manchester after that to do Strange Brew. But then I caught up playing a fucking video game. I'm replaying the whole fucking Assassin's Creed series, so I just finished Revelation today, and then I might do Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, and then there's a animated movie. It's called Assassin's Creed Embers, which is like finishes Ezio's story. It's like his death and shit, and then I'm gonna do like the America trilogy of it. So like Assassin's Creed 3, Black Flag, and Rogue. but I might try to play them in like historical order rather than the order of the modern story, which might fuck things up. I've already played them before, so it's not like it's like a big fucking deal. But I don't think anybody really gives a shit about this. But I yeah, so that'll be cool. It gives me something to do besides just telling my dick jokes, which is pretty much what all the only thing that goes on in my life. I was trying to go to see a fucking movie on I'm still pissed about this. I drove all the way to fucking Brookline to see an old samurai movie, the Seven Samurai, sorry, on 35 millimeter, which I've seen before. I've seen it on real film before, but I was going to the Coolidge to see it, and then it sold out all the way after I fucking drove there. And I was, I took the night off to to see the fucking movie. So that shit sucks. It is what it is. Dude, I got nothing this week. I gotta be honest. Normally I have like some like fucking ideas that I want to work to. I got nothing. I got absolutely fucking nothing. I like how I realized that like 25 minutes into the podcast, 26 minutes into the podcast. Like I just, it's just it's just that shitty long hot summer. There's nothing going on. You're fucking sweating your ass off. No, I thought this was gonna be like the big COVID summer. Like everybody's gonna be out. They're gonna be partying. They're gonna be fucking. And it's a little bit been that, but like it's really just been people complaining about how it's not good enough. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's just you're all so fucking boxed in from the last year that you don't know how to talk to strangers anymore. I don't know. But yeah, it's just, it's been hot, it's been rainy. Nobody's, like the downtown bars are packed, but nobody's going out and doing things. Like nobody's going to shows. Nobody, like, it's just been, I don't know. Everybody's miserable. It's like we're all sitting around being like, I thought this was gonna be fun, and then it's just not. It's just, it's like concert season. Everybody I know bought way too many fucking concert tickets and had to sell half of them. I'm kind of unimportant. I still haven't done that because I'm, an idiot. I really like. I just wish I was one of these people who just like thought all this was fake. That would be so much more convenient, to just be like, yeah, no, this is real, I mean, I get that those people are like running into real life consequences when they die and shit. But before that, for a healthy 23-year-old, it's it would be very helpful. It's not like I'm hanging out with old people as it is. I wasn't spending that much time in nursing homes beforehand. I got to be honest. Is that? I don't know. I would love to just be able to sit around, just like, dude, you laugh at me now, but who's gonna be laughing when this hoax is all over and all of our grandmas come walking in with trays full of baked goods? When the government lets them out of the facility. I just don't know if I could ever forgive my grandmother for being a crisis actor, for dying during us. These people are fucking morons. I'm not saying it's like, I don't know. I don't really know anything about science, so I can't really make any bold statements about what I think and what I don't think. Unlike these fucking idiots. Dude, you know how many times I've heard during this fucking last year and a half, like, dude, trust me, my girlfriend's a nurse. It's like, that doesn't make you qualified to say anything, Like, a couple of my exes are nurses. That doesn't mean I can diagnose you with shit. It just means there's a couple hospitals that I'm kind of afraid to go to. Like, I don't think they do anything, but you never know. I can't fucking tell you. I don't know. I don't read scientific journals. Like, what? Neither do you. So what the fuck do you know? Like, I'm not saying, like, trust the government, but trust, like, actual scientists. I don't think I'm saying anything too bold. Or I'm not saying don't trust. I don't know. I just don't fucking know. And I don't care anymore. I don't think anybody wants to keep hearing about this. That's the whole thing with the Delta variant. It's like, no, it's probably brutal. I don't want to hear about it. I got too many cool plans that at this point it's just like, look, if you're not vaccinated, like, I got concerts to go to. What am I supposed to do, It's like, that's the whole fucking, is like the people who are mad about, young people going out. It's like, I understand that, but it's like, why are old people hanging with those young people and then blaming the young people? It's like, maybe you just shouldn't have hung out with anybody if you're at risk for a fucking disease that's going around, Like, maybe you shouldn't be going in public instead of the hell. I don't know. Just an idea. Maybe instead of, blaming young people for being like, I don't want to lose my 20s, maybe, just maybe, you could have taken care of yourself for the last fucking 40 years so you don't have to blame all of your fucking body's failings on society when it's like, at some point you could have just not eaten those Oreos. You could have worked out, eaten some kale, got off your fucking ass and stopped watching TV, I get that there wasn't the same type of health information back in the day, I don't think people were eating the best diets in the 50s is all I'm saying. Like, you can't really blame them for that to some degree, but I don't know. I'm not gonna. Am I victim blaming COVID? I'm fat shaming and victim blaming right now. It's a brutal process. They're gonna get me. I don't know. I really don't know about anything. That's the thing. I make a lot of bold statements. I don't know shit. I really don't. I'll admit that though. Most people won't. That's the difference. I'll be honest. But yeah. So I am. So you should follow me on Instagram for the whole tour at Goldstein on Instagram, Twitter, all that shit. And I will be posting to the podcast account. That's at Comedy's Dead Podcast on Instagram. But I'm excited. I think I told the story of the first tour on the last couple episodes. Or on the first couple episodes that I didn't release. So I do want to tell it again, but I don't want it to be disingenuous. Like, I want to tell you the story, but I don't want to. I want it to be organic. I say that so so much as if any of you know what the fuck I'm thinking. No, you don't. You're all just sitting there like, no, you're a fucking psycho. Why would I understand the thought you're having right now? But, dude, I'm sweating so goddamn. It is so fucking hot in this room. I should not have turned the AC off. Jesus Christ. Ugh. It's like I'm doing hot yoga right now, but it's just me rambling about bad ideas. Is this what Molly is like? My teeth are chattering. Wearing a binky. But I don't know. Here's the thing. It could work out. I know I'm afraid of, because like I'm afraid of running out of money. I'm very much so. But the last time I had no fucking money and everything worked perfectly, which was crazy. Like I went to so I was supposed to go just to the Halloween show and then the second night on Long Island. So the Halloween show was obviously Halloween, and then I was supposed to go on the 6th to Long Island. But I go to the Halloween show, and they didn't reprise playing in the band. So obviously I'm like, well, I got to stay for night 2, right? Actually, so I took a bus to New York that day. This is a much longer story than I've told it the last couple of times. All right, so even before that, so I was supposed to see Phil Lesh, the bassist from the Grateful Dead. He was playing. He's the only one surviving that isn't in Dead and Company. I was supposed to see him at the Capitol Theater in Port Chester, New York, that night. Because I figured, I've seen Dead and Company before. I've never seen Phil. I want to see Phil. I think he had to cancel his tour because he had, I think, liver surgery or something. And then, or something like that. Maybe cancer. I don't even know at this point. So I ended up going to see Dead and Company instead. So even so, I met up with Tyler O'Day, who just left Barstool Sports to work for the Empire State Building. But I met up with him in the office, and it was weird because I spent like multiple years of my life, maybe like a year and a half, running the LSU page for Barstool. For a long time, I thought that was like what I was gonna do for the rest of my life. And then I started comedy, and I realized like that was my focus. I interviewed twice there, and they didn't hire me. So like it was this weird feeling of like, now that like the dust is settled, and walking back in there was kind of it was weird enough as it is. But then I so we went to the show. I took 2 tabs of acid because you can't, big show like that, you can't only take one. And then they opened. So Robert Hunter, the songwriter, had just died a couple months before, and they opened the tour. It's just Bobby and the drummers, so just the band members of the Grateful Dead that are still in Dead and Company. They open acoustically playing Ripple, which is the most touching song that the Dead ever played. I mean, it is. Like, have you ever seen Freaks and Geeks? When she gets on the bus, or when she pretends to get on the bus to go to the math thing, and then she ends up getting her friend's car and going on on the Dead tour, that's the song that's playing. So they started playing that, and then as the second verse kicks in, Mayer and O'Teal and Jeff, the keyboardist, they all step up and join into the song. It was like this really amazing moment. I'm sitting behind the stage because they sold those tickets as obstructive view. So I'm sitting like third row on top of the band behind the stage as this is happening. Dosed out of my fucking mind. They play that song. It's like, the water wells are starting. And then they fucking launch into Shakedown Street. And it was the best. I mean, one of the greatest fucking nights of my life. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, they closed out the first set with Terrapin, which was my first Terrapin. The Eyes of the World they played. I mean, I think they played Out of China Doll. There's one moment where like Mayer's taking a solo, and then Jeff joins in, and then Mayer like puts his foot up onto the piano, and they just start trading licks back and forth, and just like it was absolutely unfucking believable. And then they come out of Drums in Space with Standing on the Moon, which was the first time I ever got that one live. And then the encore was Werewolves of London. Fucking Mayer was marching through the streets of New York with Jimmy Fallon all night. It was an unbelievable night. I ended up having to spend the rest of the night at this dude's apartment, just up on acid, fucking thinking to myself. So I'm supposed to go home the next day. I have an 8 a.m. bus. I didn't sleep all night, obviously. And then, I ended up borrowing money from my brother because I was like, I got to go tonight too. So I ended up just walking around New York all day. Went to Central Park, got some cool pictures. Went to the Museum of Natural History. Spent like, I didn't get through too much. So next time I go to New York, by the way, it's free to go to the Museum of Natural History if you're ever in New York and you don't have money. I spent like 3 hours just in the pre-civilization section, just looking at all like the prehistoric stuff, all the artifacts they had. It was unfucking real. Maybe it was the drugs too, but so I ended up going back the next night. That was a fucking process because I bought 2 tickets, had to sell one on my phone. I get to the arena, and the fucking seller who sold them to me was trying to rip me off. So I couldn't get into the arena with the tickets because somebody had scanned them already. So then I ended up having to like fight on the phone with SeatGeek. They got me the tickets. Like I got into my seat. Like I entered the row I was sitting in as this first song started. It was called Rain and Snow. And that was a great fucking show. Maggie Rogers, if you know who she is, she joined for Friend of the Devil and The Wait. It was a really fun show too. And I had to take like the 12:30 a.m. bus back home. I got home at 4:30. I got to Boston at 4:30. I had to borrow money. I was so low in my bank account that I had to borrow money from a girl in the train station to Uber, or I had to give a girl $20 to Uber me home for like $17. That's how like fucking down on my funds I was. But I came home. I think I got paid the next day or something like that, and then I had a couple comedy shows that week, and then I was on Capo that week, and then so I wasn't supposed to go the first night at Long Island, which was a couple nights later, and then my buddy's gonna go there back and forth by himself, and I'm a good wingman, right? I'm not gonna let the kid down, so I was like, no, actually, you're gonna pick me up. So he drives me there and back. I did the buy 2 tickets and sell one thing because it was like you could buy 2 tickets for the price you could buy 1 ticket. So I figured, I'll just save half the money and sell a ticket on the lot. So I did that, and the guy in the car next to us didn't have a ticket, so I sold him the ticket. Picture that, or if you want to picture this guy, imagine like every loud, drunk hockey dad from Philly you've ever seen. That's him. That's exactly who this guy was. So I sold him the ticket, and then he's like, "You got any drugs?" Right? Good question for a 50-year-old to ask a 21-year-old. I did. So I gave him some of the extra acid I had from the couple nights previous. And then I ended up buying shrooms for myself because the acid wasn't going to be as strong because, like, the half-life on it, it kind of takes, like, a week to wane off the thing if you want to take the same dose. So I bought mushrooms, and then he goes, "Where'd you get the mushrooms?" I was like, "Well, I've just found a guy." He's like, "Can you go get me them?" And I was like, "Of course." So I get him mushrooms, and then as I'm giving him the mushrooms, he puts a strip of acid on my tongue, like way too many doses onto my tongue. And I'm just kind of like, what the like, I'm just sitting there giving, like, what's happening? And so I'm just, like, on a bunch of doses of acid right now. Like, and I just ate the fucking mushrooms. So I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, I just fucking ate almost an eighth of mushrooms, and I just took, like, 5 doses of acid at the same time, which is because of the half-life. It's probably like 2.5. But, like, I'm on a lot of drugs at once. I'm just looking at this guy like, what the fuck are you doing? So we go into the show way too early, by the way. So now, like, the arena's filling up. There's no music going on, no nothing. Like, we went in as early as physically possible instead of hanging out in the parking lot, which is what we should have done. So I go into the fucking arena, freaking the fuck out. Like, like, the acid's, like, energetic and, like, bubbly. The shrooms are very mellow and grounded. Like, you feel like you're being torn in 2 directions. Like, I'm freaking the fuck out. Finally, the music starts. I had a good time. It was a good show. But yeah, this is way too long in the tooth. I gotta trim this story. But so we come out of the show. We drive all the way back home. I drive back the next day with my dad. He's not gonna like that I'm talking about this. He proceeds to get way too fucking drunk in the parking lot and puke everywhere on the floor of the arena. We were sitting on the floor, and he made like 10 rows of people crunch into the pit because of, like, I've never seen this much liquid puke. Like, it's like he didn't even pee once during the night because he drank like 12 beers. Like, there was 12 beers on that fucking floor, if not with the waters he had mixed. Like, there was so much fucking liquid on this floor. Meanwhile, I took the rest of the mushrooms I had bought the previous day. Didn't tell him. So instead of, like, being a good wingman and, like, getting him out of the situation, I kind of just inched away slowly into the pit, and I just didn't see him for the rest of the show, and I had to find him at the hotel across the street while he's pretty much blacked out. That's on me. That's not how you handle that situation. But you know what? It is what it is. I enjoyed the rest of the concert. If I joined him, I wouldn't have heard Dark Star and Warfrat, and I was hunting Love Light all tour, and that's the song I got. So you know what? Worth it. But I saved his ass at the hotel across the street, and then we drive home the next day. And by the way, on the way each day, with my buddy and my dad, we stopped in New Haven. I got both Sally's and Frank Pepe's. Sally's is the best pizza maybe I've ever had. Frank Pepe's was okay. Sally's was fucking amazing. So if you're ever in New Haven, Sally's is the one. But we drive back the next day. I'm on the way fucking home, and my buddy texts me, dude, I just got 2 free floor tickets to Hampton. And I'm like, okay. So I get home. I threw all my clothes in the laundry. I showered, I changed, I finished my laundry. I got a ride back into the city, took a bus from Boston to New York, got to New York at like 12:15 in the morning, or 11:30 at night. I got a sandwich. Then I took the 12:30 bus to Philly. Got to Philly at like 3 a.m. Then I had to Uber to my buddy's campus, which is at LaSalle, which is in like the hood of North Philly. Crashed in the hood. Like, it's a gated fucking campus. That's how bad it is. Crashed with him. Then I had to fucking I had to wake up. We didn't get to bed till like 5. Got to wake up at 7. Took the 7:30 bus from Philly to DC. Took the I want to say 10:30 or 12:30 to Hampton. Turns out it goes fucking local once it hits Virginia. So it ended up taking like 10.5 hours on the bus. Plus we had a layover. And we went to grab food, but then we thought that we were running out of time on the layover. Ran back, and we still had like another hour and a half to wait. So we didn't get to the venue until like 30 minutes before the fucking show. We get in, we're sitting floor, in the pit. One of the greatest nights of my life again. I took some more mushrooms. Dude, like, they opened on Bertha into Good Lovin', and it was one of the most fun nights of my life. They did Another Eyes. They did, it's the point where I don't even like. It's been so long, I don't even remember half the shit that fucking happened. But if you remember everything, you weren't really there, right? So the show's finishing up. I'm leaving the venue, so I'm supposed to crash with my buddy who went to school across the water in Norfolk, Virginia. And I come out of the concert, and he just hasn't answered his fucking phone all night. I'm freaking the fuck out because I'm like, what's happening right now? I'm supposed to crash with this kid. Just doesn't fucking answer his phone. I had a backup plan. I was supposed to crash with my buddy at his hotel room because we were both on drugs. We were like, we're going to be up all night. But then his dad's like, who was cool with it before the show, after the show was like, actually, I have sleep apnea. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to bed. So I don't think you can crash with us. So now I'm in the middle of nowhere, fucking Virginia. I don't know anybody else I can crash with. My buddy who I came with left before the encore so he could take the bus back to Philly because he couldn't crash overnight. I mean, I'm like, things are about to get dark. Like this, I'm on drugs. Like things are getting bad. I'm sitting there thinking, the bad trip's kicking in. I'm like, am I gonna have to crash at a fucking Waffle House? Am I gonna sleep at the bus terminal all night? Am I gonna make McDonald's? Like, what am I gonna do? And then I just hear over my shoulder like someone say my voice or my name. I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, God, you're real. And then he gets in my face. I'm like, holy shit, you are real. And it took me a second, and then it hit me. It was fucking Tim, the guy from Nassau, who put the drugs in my mouth. And I explained to him my predicament, and he just goes, get in the fucking car. So I shouldn't have said his real name, by the way. So I get in the car. It was him and his girlfriend. She's very confused about the whole situation, by the way. He explains it to her. They give me a ride up to their fucking farm in Maryland. We drive through the night. She didn't want to take the interstate because she's afraid to drive. Also, we all took acid in the car, so that's probably why. But she didn't want to drive in the interstate, so we drove like 4 hours through the night. Got there at like 2, crashed, and then not 2, like probably 3:30, 4, crashed. Woke up at like 9:30. Get a ride back to the next show. They gave me a ride, bought me lunch, gave me a place to crash, and then bought my fucking ticket to the next night because we almost got shut out because so many people, like, I had no problem getting into any of the shows. I mean, MSG, the lines were kind of long. But, dude, the line to get into Hampton was so long that most people did not get into the show on time. That's how long it was. Which did not happen the previous night. Which is actually kind of good because as that was happening, my LSU Tigers were playing Alabama. This is Joe Burrow season, by the way. We're playing Alabama, and we ended up at right as I'm in front of the ticket taker. I got to watch us beat Alabama for the first time in 8 years on our way to a national championship. Then we get into the show. I missed I think Truckin' and Big Railroad Blues. But that was fucking fine. And then we got into the show, and yeah, I had a great fucking night. I ended up sneaking up to the pit. We were sitting behind, on the corner of the stage. We had really good seats, but we lost his girlfriend, so he had to go find her. So I just snuck up to the pit because I still had the X on my hand from the previous night. Dude, as I'm in the pit, and people who have never done psychedelics are going to be very weirded out by what I'm about to say. I was, so they were transitioning from playing in the band, or no. So they had done playing earlier in the set, and they're transitioning from Uncle John's band back to playing, and for the music nerds here, both of those. So playing is in a 10/4. So basically 10 beats to 4. So I don't know how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1. So that's how you count it off. So where in the time you would count 4 beats, you count 10. So it has a 10/4 time signature, and then Uncle John's is in a 4/4, but it has a 10/4 section into the reprise at the end, so it makes for an easy transition. If you're going back into a play and reprise, so they transition during that transition. all of a sudden, like, I started getting like I started like losing power in my legs. Like I just started getting wobbly, and everything started getting dark. Like to the point where like I could only make out shapes, and I'm like losing my footing, and then I just fell on the guy in front of me, and I just fell backwards on my ass, and I had no control over like I felt like I could literally like feel myself like levitating above my body. I don't know, like my mind was literally hovering above my body. I don't know how to explain it. Like everybody in the area is like, I mean, I collapsed on the floor of the arena. Like everybody's trying to help me. They're trying to get me to my feet. They're giving me water. I'm just not fucking present. Like I'm just in my own head. I was basically just, I had to come to grip. Like I literally thought I was dying, obviously. So I had to come to grips with the fact that I was dying and accept my own death. And all these people were trying to, and I got it back up to my feet. I ended up like having to sit back down again, crisscross applesauce, and just like, I had to die. And the only thing that snapped me out of it was like this guy. He comes over and he's wearing like a hat, and I thought he was a paramedic. And he was like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need help?" And I just explained to him like, "No, I took a couple mushrooms and I smoked a little weed. I'm fine. I should be fine. I shouldn't be dying, but I think I am, so it's fine." And then that snapped me out of it, and like the lights started coming back, and then like I came back to the present, and this story sounds more fucking insane as I tell it. And as that happens, the play and reprise finishes, or and then Black Peter starts, and it's a song about, I don't know if you know what ego death is, it was basically what I had just experienced, is when you lose all your sense of self and identity, and you basically have to come grips with your own death. Everything was black. I literally had an ego death, and as in the song is about basically a man on his deathbed, and everybody's coming to visit him and talking about bullshit that doesn't really matter. Like they're remarking about the weather. They're uncomfortable talking to him about his own death, and he's coming to grips with his own mortality as all these people basically move on, because to them it's just another day. Like the most significant day of your life is just another day for most people. And that's what the song's about. But relating it back to my experience and the whole ego death thing, it felt serendipitous. And there's literally a lyric like, "See here how everything leads up to this day, and it's just like any other day that's ever been. Sun going up and the sun going down shine through my window as my friends they come around." And as that lyric was hitting, the guy next to me who had helped me up through the thing put his arm around me, and I had all these flashbacks of all the experiences in my life that led to this. I'm not even bullshitting you. Like I literally saw all of the moments that like led to me discovering myself through psychedelics in this way, and getting on tour and starting comedy. And like it was like this moment of seeing all these events in my life and being like, I'm exactly where I am meant to be at this moment. Like it's not perfect, and it's fucking hard, and I mean, fucking dropping out of school to do comedy, it's an insane decision. I mean, like I'm doing myself to be poor for a long fucking time to do something that might not work out. But I got this like sign from the universe that like, no, fuck it, this is where you're supposed to be. And if you fail, that's what's supposed to happen too. So it was the most powerful fucking moment of my life. And then I just get out of the show. Oh, they closed the show on another acoustic ripple, by the way. That was the encore. And I had to get out. I came out of the show, and I'm in a fucking daze. Like, what the fuck just happened to me? And so I met back up with them at their car. And we were so happy to have found her, because she had gone missing during the show. Like, we could not find her. We were in like section P or something. She went up to PP, which was all the way up top. But luckily we found her. Everything was fine. And then the nicest fucking people, because they gave me a ride up to DC to catch the 4:30 bus up to New York. I ended up hanging up in New York all day. And the one thing I was bummed out about on the whole trip was that my friend Will Noonan had opened for my favorite fucking comedian Bill Burr while I was gone. And what do you know? I'm hanging at the fucking stand that night, and who fucking drops in? First it was Gaffigan, actually, but Bill fucking Burr. And I'm standing there next to him, nervous as fuck. I'm trying not to bother him. And he just looks at me and he goes, "Hey man," he puts his hand out. He's like, "Hey man, I'm Bill." And I'm like, "Hi, I'm Josh," and and he's kind of like, so I was just trying to be not a fanboy, so I was like, "Oh, how was Comics Come Home?" He was like, "Dude, it was fucking amazing." You know who fucking had the best set was Bobby Kelly. Dude, he fucking murdered. He like the greatest thing in my life was that Bill Burr was exactly who I thought Bill Burr would be, and so I'm like, yeah, Bobby Kelly's fucking amazing. Like, I'm trying not to talk about Bill. I'm just like, yeah, no, he's a fucking murderer. Like every time. And then I was like, do you know the score of the Bruins game? He's like, it's 2-1 Leafs, and I was like, oh, they're not the fucking world beater. And then like I'm just mumbling to my, I'm handling it awkwardly. So I end up, instead of being like, hey man, nice to meet you, I was so fucking socially anxious that I just walked away from him. And then because I'm thinking like he's about to go up, he wants to look over his notes, I'm bothering him, so I just walked away. And then I end up, he goes up. I got to watch him work out, which was amazing. And then he comes off stage. I was like pretending to be texting, staring at my phone because I didn't want to bother him. He goes all the way fucking across the bar to tap me on the shoulder and shake my hand and be like, "Hey man, it was awesome to meet you." And then we had this weird moment where we like locked eyes as he walked away. Yeah, and that's like still the coolest fucking experience I've ever had as a comic. So yeah, if you want, if all of the coincidences in the universe coalign, coalign exactly the right moments, like that 2 weeks of my life did, I should be able to survive this fucking thing. And if you want to know what life lessons I had gained from doing all those drugs and following that band, is that if a strange man who you don't all the way trust gives you a bunch of free drugs and tells you to get in his car, do it, because yeah, you might get murdered, but it could be the greatest fucking 2 weeks of your life, so or both, because I'm not gonna kink shame you. I don't know your life. So yeah, this is we're at an hour. I was only trying to do 35 minutes. Now it's too late for me to go to this fucking open mic, which is just great. Just great. But we hit an hour. So yeah, this has been it for this episode of the Comedy's Dead podcast. With me, your host, Josh Goldstein. Please don't be afraid to like and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram. Last week's episode is now fixed on Apple Podcasts. So listen to that if you haven't done that already. Please be sure to like, subscribe, leave comments, drive whatever interactions you can. Follow the podcast at Comedy's Dead Podcast on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Gosh Goldstein. Or just look up my name. I'm sure you can find it. Subscribe on YouTube. I'm hopefully going to be putting stand-up clips more often on that. But it's tough because when you're a young comic, like, you just never feel, every time you post something, you like, within a couple months, you're like, that's not who I am as a comic. Like, whether it's that bit getting better or whether it's you just getting so much better that the set looks awkward and shitty. So I'll try to post more stand-up, but it's hard. I try to only do topical jokes when I post shit like that, or, I don't do a lot of crowd work, so it doesn't really, help. But yeah, please check that out. I don't have anything good coming up next week. This weekend at Laugh, I just talked about them, but tomorrow, or I guess I'm going to be releasing this on Friday, so Friday night and Saturday night, my guy, Will Noonan, is headlining at Laugh Boston. The last time he did that, he sold out the entire weekend. I think Della Volpe is opening. He's a great comedian. I don't know who else is on, but it's going to be an awesome fucking show, so you should absolutely be going to that. I'll be there at least Saturday night, maybe Friday. I might have a show, I might not. So that'll be cool. Yeah, so, you guys enjoy yourselves. Stay fucking cool. This week's been fucking brutal as it is. So yeah, I'll check out tonight's Summer League game, I guess, now that I'm not going to this fucking mic. And then I'll talk to you guys next week. I know I've been releasing on Monday. I think I'm going to try to release on Fridays now. That way it's queued up for people on Monday, and it kind of forces them to listen to it. Plus, like, I feel like nobody releases on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, which, I only really ever listen to podcasts while I'm playing video games, and that's usually when I get my video game time done. So, it'll be I don't know. Let me know what the best day to fucking release is. But I'll thank you guys for listening. Love you all, and I'll talk to you next week. See you later.